We are absolutely drowning in headlines about AI, right? How it's going to revolutionize everything at work. But behind all that hype, what's actually happening on the ground? Let's cut through the noise and take a look at the real story behind AI's impact on American jobs. So, the promise is this total revolution, a brand new era of productivity like we've never seen before. But what happens when those big promises meet the messy reality of a day-to-day business? Well, that's where the story gets really interesting. So first off, how many people are even using AI at work? Right now, it's about 21% of US workers. Now, that's up from 16% last year, which sounds pretty good. But that one number, it's actually hiding a massive disconnect between what we think AI can do and what it's actually delivering. And that disconnect brings us right to our first big theme, this whole idea of productivity. We've got this huge gap between the expectation and the reality. And when we talk about expectations, we are talking huge. Economists are projecting a mind-boggling 35% productivity boost for the US by 2035. I mean, a number like that is exactly why billions are being invested and why everyone is so excited. But then, reality hits, and it hits hard. A massive survey of executives found that around 80%, report seeing little to absolutely no productivity gains from their AI investments. Let that sink in for a second. That is a staggering gap between the hype and what's really going on. So why? What is causing this massive disconnect? Well, it's not just one thing. Companies are basically hitting a wall. We're talking about the high costs, a serious shortage of people with the right AI skills, and even just good old-fashioned resistance from inside the company. It turns out, just buying the cool new tech, that's actually the easy part. Okay, so let's shift gears. Let's zoom in from that big corporate picture and talk about the individual worker. Because while the execs are worried about strategy, employees are on the front lines, dealing with this wild mix of opportunity and, a lot of anxiety. And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If that big economic boom from AI hasn't really shown up yet, what's the day-to-day impact on people's careers, on their sense of security, on their future? And the numbers here, they tell a pretty clear story. Over half, 52% of American workers are worried about how AI is going to affect their jobs. And almost a third think it could actually shrink the number of jobs out there. This isn't just some small concern. It's a really widespread feeling of uncertainty. So what you end up with is this sort of split-screen view in the workplace. On one side, you've got people who see AI as this incredible tool, a partner that helps them do their job better and opens up new doors. But on the other side, you've got people who see it as a direct threat to their livelihood. And both of these things are happening right now, at the same time. So who's feeling this pressure the most? Well, the research points pretty clearly to roles that involve a lot of repetitive or administrative tasks. And there's also international data that suggests jobs traditionally held by women could face a higher risk of being automated, which adds this whole other important social layer to the conversation. But look, the story doesn't just end with whether or not a job disappears. Some of the biggest impacts of AI aren't economic at all. They're what you might call the hidden human costs, the social and psychological stuff that we're only just starting to wrap our heads around. To really get the full picture, we have to look past the bottom line. How are these tools affecting our ability to think for ourselves? Our stress levels? How are they changing our connections with the people we work with every day? These are the questions we really need to start asking. And that brings us to this really critical idea: cognitive and skill erosion. Think of your problem-solving skills like a muscle. If you stop using that muscle because you're just handing off all the heavy lifting to an AI, does that muscle start to get weaker over time? Experts have a name for this: AI atrophy. And get this, it's not some far-off futuristic problem. It's happening right now. 1 in 10 workers already say they rely entirely on AI to do their jobs. And AI atrophy isn't the only thing to worry about. We're also seeing social connections start to fade as people interact more with a screen than with their colleagues. And ironically, a lot of people are reporting more stress as they struggle to learn and keep up with all these new systems being thrown at them. Okay, so with all of these challenges, you might be thinking this all sounds a little grim, but it doesn't have to be. The conversation is really starting to shift away from just how do we implement the tech to how do we build a more thoughtful, human-centered future. And this quote just nails it. The goal shouldn't be replacement, it should be augmentation. How can we build tools that make us better at what we do? that amplify our unique human skills and make us smarter, more creative, and more effective. So what does that actually look like? Well, a truly successful AI strategy isn't just about the code. It's about doubling down on the skills that machines just can't replicate. Critical thinking, creativity, emotional intelligence. In the age of AI, these human skills, they suddenly become our most valuable asset. So as we wrap things up, it is crystal clear that the story of AI at work is not a simple one. That big productivity boom, it's possible for sure, but it is far from guaranteed. The anxiety that workers are feeling, it's real and it's totally justified. And we've got to start paying just as much attention to the human side of this as we do to the economic side. Which leaves us with one final, really powerful thought. Look, the future isn't about whether or not we can stop this technology. The real question is how we choose to guide it. Will we build a future that just chases efficiency above everything else? Or will we build one that puts human skill, well-being, and connection right at the very center? That's the choice we all get to make.